What is up, dudes, dudettes, and dudes who defy description? Welcome to another episode of Awesome Fun in Minecraft with me, Oz. It's great to see you, great to be back with you. In our last episode, we completed the interior of the Ghostbusters headquarters firehouse, and today I'm really excited to go on to a build that is my own original creation, and you can see the template for it right here behind me. Now let me explain my thinking here. My idea was one day when I grow up, I hope to have some friends that I can play with on a multiplayer server, and on these multiplayer servers people tend to have shops, and I thought, what would be a kind of cool shop that I would like for myself? And I thought to myself, do you know what would be cool? An aquarium, but not just any aquarium. Oh no, this is Ozz's epic Oceanic aquarium. That's right. Now let me explain how this shop would work. So the idea is you come in here. This is one level of it I've got designed so far, where there are 16 separate tanks for fish, and in it I've collected a variety of different fish. And since the aquatic update, there's so many amazing designs. In fact, there's 3,584 varieties of fish. I'm not going to build it quite that big to contain that many, but here's how the shop works. So the idea is you would come in and say you wanted to get a queen angel fish for 1 diamond each. You could grab an angel fish that you can see here, pre-packaged for you, or you can catch your own with the bucket. So you grab a bucket of water, or a lot of infinite water sources here, so you could fill up your own bucket. So you could come up, open up the tank, jump on in, and then take a fish of your choice if you fancied catching your own. Then of course you would head over and make your payment by depositing it in here along with your receipt, so I know which one that you're gonna restock. Now this is the initial template. I've designed one floor of this build, and as you can see from the scaffolding there, my intention is to make this a lot bigger. I plan to make this maybe about 5 or 6 levels high, and we're not just gonna have fishies in here. Oh no, we're gonna have squiddies, we're gonna have turtles, we're gonna have dolphins, we're gonna have all the amazing different types of aquatic mobs that you can get in the game. So this is the initial floor design, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get stuck in to getting this thing higher and adding a whole bunch of floors. Then I'll tell you a little bit about how we're going to move about from floor to floor and some of the other special treats in there. So I have gathered a lot of glass. You know, I didn't think since the drown farm that I was ever going to have to place this much glass, but I've got to go and place now about 7,500, 8,000 blocks of glass. So I really need to get stuck into this build. So I'm going to get going, and I'll see you when we've got a much bigger aquarium. It's definitely going to look a lot more epic. Okay, to placing. Woo, that was a lot of glass placed, a lot of glass, and definitely after some crazy flashbacks to the construction of the drowned farm, I am happy that we've completed the main superstructure here of our fantastic, epic Oceanic aquarium. Oh yes indeed, it's definitely starting to look a lot more epic now. Now let me show you what we've done so far, and let me tell you what we're about to do. So there's the initial floor that we had before. We can of course enter this from the top or from the bottom. So if we come up here in the bottom, you can see that we've got the entranceway there, and if I come around, we've got one that takes you up to the top floor, one that's no entry because it's an exit only, and we can take these up to the upper floor. So I've created now all 6 levels of this, so we can see we've got this one created here. We can head up to the next upper level like so, and I just love these bubble columns. They are amazing. So we've got 3 levels that are going to be used for housing the different fish mobs. Then if we go up another level, and I'm going to slightly change these, I've been having some thoughts about these and how I'm going to change them. We basically created on these 3 floors 3 massive tanks in which we're hopefully going to house some squids, some dolphins, and some turtles as well. Now here we go, let's check up the upper floor so we can check out these. So some big tanks. However, I think, yeah, what I've been thinking about off camera is that I'm thinking I'm going to maybe bring these tanks walls in a little bit because I'm a bit nervous that these spaces here won't be enough for some of these mobs to be able to make use of the whole space. And especially if we're housing some dolphins in here, I want to give them plenty of space to swim around and have a lot of fun. Now, what I thought that I would like to do now and show you guys basically what my thinking is when it comes to designing the aquariums. Let's see the ground floor. Oh yeah, that's great. I'm going to show you what we're doing in terms of designing the inside. So there's no fish in here? Yep, they're hiding over there. This is the only thing. I might block off some of these edges. Some of them are completely square, as you can see here. Oh, pufferfish. And some of the ones over here I've got a little bit of an extra edge, but some of the fish seem to like going into these tiny corners there, such as these fellas over here. So what I'm going to do is head up now to the next level here, where we have not yet placed anything inside, and show you basically what I do for designing the interior of each one of these things, and then I'm going to do it for all of the other ones. So let me grab some materials and we'll start building the interior of these tanks. Okay, so I'm inside one of the tanks, and don't worry, I'm not putting myself on display. I'm just going to set this area out, give you an idea of what I've been doing for some of the ones below. So I've been basically alternating between the red sand and regular sand, and I sort of place these around the base to create our bottom bit. And then what I like to do as well is the soul sand creates a nice bubble column, and it's quite fun to put this sort of roughly, you can put them anywhere in the tank really. I like to put them in the back bit here, and what that does is it just creates a water stream, and then when you've got fish swimming around in here, it forces them, pushes them up to the top, and then we place trapdoors across the top, as you can see in the lower one there, just to make sure that the fish don't pop out when and die, because that would be bad for the aquarium, and bad of course for the fish too. And it just helps to keep the fish circulating around the area. So once we've placed this inside, our next thing to do is to fill this up with some water. So we do this like so. I'm being brave by only taking 3 buckets of water, but you should only need 2 because we basically create an infinite water source there, and that allows us to much more quickly just get filling. And this is now, yep, completely settled down, so that's nice. Fill this up again, and we just repeat this around until we've got, oh, there's the bubble stream, until we've got a full tank. So I'm just going to fill that up, and then I'll show you from there. So there we have it. That's our tank completely full with water there, with a little bubble source in the background. And now that we've filled this with water, we can start doing some of our more decorating. So in terms of decorating, what I quite like to do is, you might not know this as well, this is something I learned relatively recently. If you bone meal on the sand under the water, it creates some seagrass like that. Now I tend to smash out these bigger ones here because they block the view. Chuck in a, got here a bit of fire coral just to give it a little bit of color, and then on some of them I have been placing, like maybe right in the back, some kelp that will then grow up and create a nice sort of looking environment for the fish, and hopefully a happy environment for the fish. Now last but not least, this is very, very important, we're going to place down some of these trapdoors, and this is to stop the fish from jumping out and then landing on the open dry area and dying, which is sad, and also to allow customers who are wishing to get inside and collect their own fish a way to do so. So now that I've designed this one, that's kind of there, and I've got a whole variety of different corals and things that we can place, and I also would like to start adding some sea pickles to this for additional lighting, but I'm quite low on sea pickles at the moment. So when we go out to catch all the fish that we're going to place in the different tanks, I'm going to gather some more sea pickles there. So that's me done this one tank, and now the next step, of course, is to do it for all of the tanks on this level. There's 16 tanks per level and all of them there. So I'll see you once we've done 31 tank placements. Oh yeah, gonna be epic. There we have it. All of our fish aquariums are now decorated and complete. So we've got the 16 below on the initial starting level, which are already full of fish, and we now have this level here, and if we go up to the next, we have a third level as well, all ready to receive some new lovely fishies. Now also, if we go up to the upper floor, I have indeed basically pushed out the corners of some of these places well, the levels that are going to be for the squid, the turtles, and the dolphins. So we've got a bit more space, hopefully, for them to move around, and I've filled the bottom of them with sand. And if we come up here, I've actually already completed this one area. This is filled with coral. Oh, starting to get nighttime now. So here is one that I've prepared earlier, and as you can see, I've got this area all ready and set up. It's full of lovely coral blocks, some seagrass, a couple of little bubble columns and things in there, and you'll notice these stacks of sand. Now that's because this middle one here is going to be for our turtley friends. Now I've already got some turtle eggs, and I've temporarily, I don't know, I might leave this in, I might not, I've temporarily put door here just for us to access, because I've brought these ones up much higher in level than the fish aquarium tanks, because there's no need for people to climb in here, because even if this was a shop, this isn't something that I would be selling. I would maybe be selling some of the turtle goods on the outside there as well, but it's not an area that players need to access, so I've been able to make this a little bit higher. Now the reason I've created these little sand blocks up on here is for us to hatch some turtles. Now turtle eggs can be gathered by using a silk touch egg. I'll just show you that now if you didn't already know this. So there is our turtle egg. You can pick them up and basically put them wherever you want to later on. So I'm going to set these in place now so that we can get our turtles hopefully hatching sometime soon. Now, I can't quite remember, but I feel like they need to have a certain amount of space around the egg, so I can't just place them anywhere there. So I'm going to create a 4 stack of them there, and it's good to do this now because turtle eggs can take forevers to hatch. They can take quite a few in-game days to do this, so I don't want to do this later on when we're gathering the dolphins and the squids and all the other things, because it could just take such a long time. So I'm going to set them now. And the other little bonus thing that I just wanted to point out here is that these aquariums are actually able to spawn fishes, which is awesome, because we would need to gather another 32 different fish species for the rest of the aquarium, and we're getting some at home. Now I kind of actually don't even want to take these from here, because it's nice to have them in here where the turtles are going to be. So we've got 8 turtle eggs in position. Now I don't want to overcrowd this tank. We almost jumped on them there. You can step on these things and break them, so you got to be careful, and we'll see what happens. I just want to make sure as well that when the turtles do hatch, I'm a bit worried that these bubble columns here might push them and bash their heads off the top of there. And so we'll see what happens when that is the case. So this is our larger aquarium bit up here that's going to be for turtles, and we've got one above that is going to be for our dolphin friends, and one below that is going to be for the squiddy deluge. So now I'm going to get to decorating the lower and the upper ones, fill them up with water, and get them all ready for our new inhabitants. And this epic aquarium is really starting to take shape. It's taken a long time, but if you want something to be epic, you have to put in the effort. Now I'm going to have a quick munch, and then I'm going to get on with the rest of the decorating. No! What are you doing in here? This is not what's supposed to be on display. You're not supposed to be on display in here. No, what? Hey! What are the two of you doing in here? This is not cool, man. This is totally not cool. Move your ass out here. Don't you dodge. Don't you blow anything up. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Okay, one down. Ah, oh, God, I hate when this happens. Must get this full of water ASAP. Excuse me, sir? Sir? Are you a dolphin? You don't look like a dolphin. You don't smell like a dolphin. You're a dead fin. That's what you are. Yes. Now, let's get this filled with water. Jeez, can't be done too soon. Whew, after our near miss with the Jeepers Creepers down upstairs, thankfully we have now got all of our large tanks complete. So this one here is going to be for our squiddy deluge, as you can see, just decorated with lots of nice coral, seagrass, kelp growing away, all this kind of stuff. Then if we head up to our next level, upper floor, here we go. This is our turtle enclosure. If we have a look, yep, not made too much progress, or any progress in terms of hatching. Let's yeah, let's hope that they'll hatch sometime relatively soon. And we added this in as well, some turtle foods in here. We've got seagrass, which you can use for breeding and speeding up the growth of baby turtles as well. Then if we come up to the next floor, this is our dolphinarium. Is that a thing? A dolphinarium? I think it is. I feel like I've heard that before. Now we've added, of course, for the dolphins, some dolphin snacks that you can see there. So we've added in some raw cod, raw salmon, tropical fish, lots of nice food for them. And on each 4 sides, I've added in this little treat. Now, basically, when you hit this dispenser, it dispenses a coloured block of concrete. Now, if you know the dolphins in the game, they like to play around with objects in the water. So the idea is that you can use these to play along with them. And actually, what I figured about this is, what this is actually a swim with the dolphins experience. So you can come through the door, make sure you close it so the dolphins don't flap out and die. And then when the dolphins are in here, you'll be able to swim around with them. And it's always important to leave air blocks above the dolphin tanks as well. Otherwise, they will die if you just put them in with only water. They need a bit of air too. So that is all of our tanks ready, and we're just about at the stage of filling this epic aquarium up. However, there is 2 things, or there are even 2 things that I would like to do before we begin the process of adding all of our aquatic mobs to the epic Oceanic aquarium. And that is, if we fly alright and take a quick look. This, by the way, this is the test version I made earlier on. Before I even began this, I made a little test version. I've stolen some bits from it for the construction here. But there is the epic Oceanic aquarium. Now, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty awesome. But it is just a big glass cylinder sticking out of the water. So what I would like to do, what my vision even is for this, is that if you remember the poster for the movie Jaws, right? It's a shark with its mouth sticking out of the water, and I would like to build a kind of Jaws shark mouth, the top part of a shark on top of the aquarium here. And the idea is that you'll fly inside the mouth of the shark, and that is how you enter the aquarium. And I think that would be really, really cool. Fly into the shark's mouth to get inside. So we're going to have to build a big shark sculpture on the outside here. And the one other thing that I need to add is a heart of the sea. Now, heart of the sea, if you don't know the heart of the sea, we've actually got one over here. I can take you to have a little look at the heart of the sea. It's not a heart of the sea, is it? Yeah, no, that's the name of the thing. What is it called? A conduit. That's it. A conduit is what you make from the heart of the sea. And what this allows you to do is to breathe underwater. So if we come to, this was my test version here. You can see in one of the tanks, I had put, and you can hear its heart beating there, a heart of the sea. And we can even look inside and see it there. There it is. And this will allow us to breathe when we're in the water. You can see we've got the conduit power effect going on up there. This will allow us to breathe indefinitely underwater whilst we're maybe swimming with our dolphin friends or doing work inside or things like that. So I need to include the heart of the sea. But first, I'm going to build the big shark popping out of the water first of all, and perhaps we can hide the heart of the sea inside the shark. So I'm going to go have a little think about, how am I going to build this? What I'm going to build it out of? And then we're going to get started, and it's going to be cool. This is going to be the best feature, I think. One of the best features of this epic aquarium. It is done. We can fly into the jaws of Jaws and into our new entrance to Ozz's epic Oceanic aquarium. And I think this place is truly now well deserving of its name. Oh, yes, it is. Now, let me grab a potion of slow falling so that we can admire the wonder, the amazement that is this. Oh, it's kind of silly, but I kind of love it as well. I think it looks pretty awesome when you see it from the front. When you see it from the side, I'm not sure how I feel about the shark. I kind of went with the sticking out eye thing, and I've tried to make this glass here look like it's like a wave that's going on, but the mouth is definitely something that I love. Like, you truly feel like you're flying into the jaws of death. when you fly into the mouth of Jaws himself. Oh yes. Oh, this has been so much fun. I used a lot over of the light grey concrete that was left over even from our Ghostbusters headquarters. It wasn't quite enough though. I had to make a lot more. In case you're wondering as well, how come his experience keeps going up so much? It's because I had to go and repair everything at the Guardian farm a bazillion times. My Elytra, their spicy wings are taking a lot of damage. They almost completely broke while I was in the middle of doing everything there. I had to fix my pick as well from crafting all of the concrete. But oh man, I am so happy with how this looks. We've now brought some of the doors up a slight higher up level, so you can still get to lower floor, one floor down, ground floor, and then of course the exit as well for coming out of the top. So you now fly into the jaws of death to enter the epic aquarium. If we head down to the ground floor, which will take a little bit longer than normal because I have the I can't even speak, it's so late. The slow falling potion, and we head into the underneath here. I've also added in one heart of the sea at the bottom, and the awesome thing about this heart of the sea, if I head up to the very top here, go way drowned. Nobody has time for you right now. Heart of the sea, get him. If we head back up to the top here, we'll notice that even if we're this will take a while. I'll edit this. So if we head now to the very top place, this is going to be where we keep our dolphins. You'll notice that once we go in to swim with the dolphins, we do indeed get the heart of the sea. We have the conduit. I keep calling it heart of the sea. It's conduit, Oz. It's conduit, honestly. It's so late. I've been doing this for way too long, but it has well been worth it. So now we get conduit power all the way from the top of the aquarium all the way to the bottom, and this is awesome. And you can also notice one other thing I've done. So in all the time it took me to build everything up there, I also added quite a lot of sea lanterns up there, just to point that out. I got kind of bored of waiting for more of these eggs to hatch. The whole time I've been hours up there building that. I even stayed up through nights and stuff as well to try and encourage these turtle eggs to grow. I don't know if I'm just out of range or whatever. So instead of just having the 4, I've now added a whole bunch of these things in, and hopefully that will help. And so, after many hours, we can finally call Ozz's epic Oceanic Aquarium complete. The building is complete. And make sure you join me for the next episode, when of course we're going to head out, and I've got some good plans for this, as well as catching 32 fish mobs and teaching you, hopefully if it's something you don't know about catching them, how to do all that as well. We'll give you a little bit of guide on that too. And we're also going to catch ourselves some dolphins and bring them in. You might be wondering, how are we going to get dolphins into the top floor of this aquarium? Well, that is going to be fun. That is going to be quite fun, and you're going to find out in the next episode. We're also going to get some squids. Hopefully, finally our turtles will hatch. And I've decided as well that we're going to get some villagers in here too. And I'm going to put these things on their head like this. Some of these mob heads that I've been collecting throughout there, and we're going to have villagers tending to each of the 6 levels as well. So how we're going to get all these things into the aquarium, we'll find out in the next episode of Awesome Fun in Minecraft with me, Oz. Oh yes, and don't forget, this is YouTube, so make sure you do all the YouTubey things. I'm not going to say them. I'm not going to say them because you know them. You know them. But I would appreciate it. And I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited next time to get away from building for a little while, because I'm definitely a little bit builded out, and get on with catching all the beautiful creatures that are going to inhabit Oz's epic Oceanic Aquarium. Say goodbye, Jaws. Goodbye, Jaws. See ya.